Hello class and welcome back. In this project, Project 8, which can be found in your text starting on page 431, we're going to be continuing our work in InDesign and working to create a festival poster for Jazz Fest. In this particular project, we're going to be working with different tools such as the gradients tools, how to make clipping paths, what you've done before in both Illustrator and Photoshop, but there's yet another way to achieve that inside of InDesign. We're also going to be playing with some typographic principles and how to work with multiple image layers and get this poster completed. To start, just make sure that you do have InDesign downloaded and open. You'll know that you're in InDesign by, again, this magenta panel we have down here in your toolbar, or if you're on a PC, you can go to File, Start, Programs, and then click on Adobe InDesign. Once it's open, sometimes if you're on a Mac, it'll actually give you a different view. It'll show you just the application bar, which I have. I got that web page in the background, excuse me. Let me minimize that. So sometimes if you're in InDesign on a Mac, it'll show you just kind of this frame around. I personally prefer to work like I do in Photoshop with the application frame completely closed in. So to do that, just go to Window and make sure application frame is checked. So InDesign, like we've been going over in the class so far, is a little bit different from Illustrator and Photoshop in the fact that you don't usually build a whole lot of graphics directly within InDesign. Instead, you usually pull from files you've created in Photoshop or Illustrator, import them into InDesign to get to your final print-ready product. So the first part of setting that up is, of course, to set up the workspace. And what we're going to do is, while you don't have anything open, before you do anything, we're going to go to the InDesign Creative Cloud right here. We're going to click Preferences, and we're going to make sure we go down to Units and Increments. From here, we're going to make sure that the ruler units are set to inches on both of these, and then we're going to click OK. What that does is that makes sure that for all your files in InDesign that your default will be in inches and not in picas or any of the other graphic design units of measurement. So to get started, do Command N or go to File, New, Document. And here we're going to make sure that we have facing pages turned off, since we won't be needing them as project. You see one page, starting at page 1. We're going to make sure that the letter size is set to, instead of a letter here, the page size is set to tabloid, which will be 11 by 17. And we are going to make sure that we have 1-inch margins on each side. So to do that, I just type in 1 and hit Tab, and it should fill in everything else. And then make sure that you click Bleed and Slug, and inside your bleed, you want to add a 0.25 inch bleed. And again, I did that just by typing 0.25 and then a quote mark. Once everything looks correct and it looks like we have everything there, you can hit OK. If you wanted to save this for other use, you could actually come in here and save this document preset as tabloid. And so now you can actually use this for the future. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit OK. And you see we have the document set up. Alright, so now that you have this, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and save this as. We're going to make sure that we come down and go to our desktop and our work in progress folder. I have the Jazz folder here, and you can see I already have the poster.indd file, which I'm going to save over and replace. And make sure you save that before you move on. Alright, so in this video we've gotten our project set up, and the next one I want to show you how to work with your different color swatches and how to move forward creating different shapes and working with different layers in InDesign.